Hey guys, welcome to the Elite Weekly Boss. We're going to go ahead and start with our hero, and if you have the monkey knowledge, go ahead and put your free dart out. We'll start with 3 farms. All of them are going to be 200s. We're going to create a bank. It's a great early farming strategy, and then we'll venture away from the bank. So if you've seen any of my other previous videos, it's going to be very similar. So start out with the 3 farms, 200. Once you get all 3 of them, you'll grab any one of the farms and upgrade it to a 220. You'll upgrade another one to a 202. And then as soon as you get the 202, you'll go ahead and sell the 200, the 202, and then create the bank. You'll then go ahead and put out another farm. It's going to be a 200. We will need an additional balloon cleanup, so I'll go ahead and put out an engineer. I'm going to make it a 000 to start out. We're going to need a lot of farming on this particular boss for Elite. I know I hate farming as much as you do and filling up the map, but this is going to be one of those weeks that we have to do that. So after you get that engineer out, put another farm, make it a 200, and then we will need to upgrade our engineer just to kind of help with the balloon cleanup. So you'll go ahead and upgrade it to a 003. The bank should hit the 9,500 after this or right around this, and then we'll have to go ahead and collect from the bank. We'll upgrade our engineer monkey, and we want to make it a 014. Target the trap towards the top. When you do that, once the trap's full, it will collect and give you money. Once you get that, put out a village, make it a discount village. We're going to do the top path for bigger radius, and then we're going to do the bottom path twice. Upgrade one of your farms to a 300, upgrade your other farm to a 300, and then go back and upgrade to 320s on both of the farms. The trap will continue to collect all the lead, so even if it falls out the first time, when it loops back around the track, it will still collect into the trap, so don't worry about that. You'll go ahead and add 2 more farms. They're going to be the same path, 320s. After we get both of these farms out, I'll place this one. I'm going to place one more that's a 320, so you'll have 4 total 320 farms. You'll go ahead and put out a druid, put it in range of the discount village. We're going to make it a 140. You can start out as a 130, and as soon as you have enough money, upgrade it to a 140. We're on round 38. We need to start preparing for the first tier of the boss. Remember, when the boss is out, you don't want to sell. If you sell, it's going to regenerate health. So you want to put your towers out and have enough money to upgrade with what you need. If you sell when the boss is out, it will end up regenerating its health, and we don't want that. Collect out of the bank when it hits the 9,500. For the first tier of the boss, we're going to do an elite defender. We're going to make it a 205. Start it out as a 005. Upgrade all the way to the T5 first, and then you can upgrade the top path twice. If you need to collect from the bank, even if it's not at the 9,500, collect to upgrade as quickly as possible. You can leave this on first. You'll go ahead and put out a ninja. We're going to make this a 204. Just upgrade when you can. I suggest starting out as a 004 and then just upgrade the top path twice after you get the bottom path upgrade to a T4. That's all the defense we need for the first tier of the boss. So once you do that, just keep filling up around the village as many 320 farms as possible. Remember, with this boss, it will take lives away from you. So what we're going to do is once the boss pops, we're going to end up selling the T5 sniper, selling the ninja, and we're going to upgrade to the Spirit of the Forest. Because the Spirit of the Forest, when you upgrade it to a T5 and make it a 150, when you hit the banana at the bottom, it's going to regenerate lives and give you cash. So we want to continue with that life regeneration, and you want to be able to click it every time it refreshes so our lives start adding back up. So when you have enough, sell the sniper, sell the ninja, upgrade to the Spirit of the Forest. Once you get the Spirit of the Forest, you're going to upgrade to T4 farms. So you'll upgrade to the 420 farms. You're going to upgrade 4 total. We want to stop and make sure that we have almost enough for the MAD, a 250 MAD. So I would stop after you get the fourth one or even the third one, and we're going to want to continue generating income. Remember, we can't sell while the boss is out, so we want to have as much money as possible, and this is what we're going to need in order to defeat the boss for round 60. So stop doing it, wait until you have enough. As soon as you hit the 65,000, upgrade, and you'll upgrade it to a 250. Make sure you use the ability every time it refreshes, and then you can loop and continue your farming. So after you get this out, just upgrade to each one of your farms to 420s, because this is going to hold for the mad. If you wait to kind of use the ability once it goes to each one of the little skulls, that can help, because the ability on the mad, when you use it, it will take a lot more life off. So if you time it right, it can help. But you'll have plenty of time to defeat the boss and then continue with your farming strategy. After you get all of your farms to 420s, go to your village in the middle of your farms and upgrade it to a 140. Once you do that, it expands the radius a little bit more, so you can see if you can fit any more farms within the radius of your village, which I am able to. I'm able to put another one on the left-hand side and make it a 420. Remember at the beginning of the video, farming is going to be key with this particular boss. That last final tier of the boss is very strong, and we want to make sure we have high-degree paragons, and we're going to end up with 3 high-degree paragons. Once you fill up the radius and you have them all as 420s, you're going to go ahead and upgrade your village to a 105. It's going to soak up all of the farms within radius of the village, and then we're going to want to rebuild. So when the boss pops, it's very important you wait for the boss to pop. We are going to sell the mad and create a T5 farm. So you can start it out while the boss is still out and upgrade it to a 420. Once the boss pops, your druid is going to hold, so you can sell the mad, and you want to upgrade your farm to a 520. It's going to help generate a lot of income, so we're going to create this one first before we continue on with our farming strategy. After you get the 520, then you can start placing as many farms in range of your village as possible. You're going to make them all 420s. You can start it as a 320 and then just upgrade each one to a 420. I'll speed it forward. That's all you're going to do, because the druid's going to end up holding for you. You'll continue spamming these 420 farms all the way up until round 78. On round 78, we're going to start putting out all of the dart monkeys. We're going to create a bare minimum dart paragon for round 80, but we want to make sure that we have the dart paragon created before the boss comes out. So at round 78, I'm going to stop putting these out. I'm going to go ahead and put out my darts. And if you have the monkey knowledge, you can do the bottom path twice, which I do. And then you'll do the top path and the middle path. We want to have the dart paragon created before the boss comes out. So when you hit that checkpoint at round 79, if you need to sell some of your 420 farms, that's completely fine. So you'll see me sell until I have 150,000, some of the 420 farms, and then we'll end up, once the boss comes out, we're going to start placing a lot more farms. So we'll end up filling this entire map actually with all of our farming this particular round on round 80, so we'll have plenty of time to end up farming. So after you sell the 420 farms, once you hit that checkpoint, create your paragon and then start rebuilding 420 farms. You're going to fill up this entire map. While this boss is out, I'm going to go ahead and place out T5 of the ninjas, because we will create a ninja paragon, but we're not going to create it yet. So I'm going to speed this forward because it's very tedious. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but we truly do need this amount of farming in order to beat the boss. So I'm going to speed it forward, but what you can do is go ahead and I'll slow it down when I put out the ninjas. You can put the T5 ninjas out. We'll do the top path, the middle path, and the bottom path, but we are not going to create our paragon. This is just going to help us get pops so it can be a higher degree, because the more pops you have, and then if you place additional and contribute more income, then your paragon will be boosted. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and put out my T5 ninjas now, so then that way they can collect pops and help with a high degree paragon. So I'll go ahead and place those out. Once you get those out, continue filling your map up with all of the 420 farms. We'll end up putting a bottom path farm as well. So we have a top path, a middle path, and a bottom path as T5s. So I'll go ahead and put a 205 farm once I kind of continue filling up the map. I will upgrade my bank as well to a 205 and then collect. With this particular boss, you want to avoid the Alchemist and anything that will buff a tower. So if you put an Alchemist out, or if you put a village out and you do middle path and you're using the ability while the boss is out, it's going to regenerate health. You want to avoid that. You don't want to sell anything while the boss is out. It's going to regenerate health. So after you fill up the entire map, this is all you're going to need to do. You can just let this speed forward until we hit the checkpoint. We're actually not going to create the Ninja Paragon this next one because if we do it now, it's not going to be a high degree because we don't have a lot of income if we contribute it. So what we're going to do is actually create a boomerang paragon. I'm going to sell the dart paragon, and where that's where we're going to place the boomerang. So we're going to do a top path, a middle path, and a bottom path. We want to boost this paragon. We want to create a 60-degree paragon or above. So we need to boost this even further. We're going to place out 25 boomerangs, and all of them are going to be 220. If you don't have enough room, sell some of your 420 farms, and then once we create the paragon, you can then just put them back, which I didn't have enough room, so I just sold a few and put them in there. It's going to be 220, and then what you'll do is grab your boomerang paragon where the dart paragon was and contribute the max amount to that particular paragon. When it soaks up those boomerangs as well, you can then go ahead and rebuild your 420 farms, and this is going to hold for this round of the boss. If you did it this way, you should have over 60-degree paragon. I have a 61, but if you get 60, that is good because we are going to need high-degree paragons for the last tier. Make sure you mark your boomerang paragon on strong as well, and then you can let this speed forward actually all the way up until the last tier of the boss on 119. Once we get to the 119, we're going to sell all of our farms. You can sell the farms. If you haven't sold the engineer towards the top, you can go ahead and sell that as well. And then we're going to create 2 more paragons. We're going to end up creating the Ninja Paragon, which we originally already placed the T5s out for that. And we want to boost it. It's very important. I know it's very tedious to put out additional extra towers for each one of the paragons, but it's so important in order to create high tier, even if you contribute a lot of money, which you'll see I'll contribute the max that I can to the ninja, but in order to boost it further, we do need to put out the additional ninjas. So I will put 25 of these. All of them are going to be 220s. Once you upgrade all of them to 220s, you can grab one of the ninjas and then contribute the max amount to the paragon in order to create it. You're going to want to make sure that you put your ninja paragon on strong as well, so it's constantly targeting the boss. After we get the Ninja Paragon created, we're going to also do a sub-paragon. So within that water space, you're going to want to put as many subs as possible so we can boost it. We're going to need T5s for each one. You'll need a top path, a middle path, and a bottom path. And then all of the extra ones will make 220s. I am going to have extra money left over after I create this paragon as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put a T5 ice monkey to try to help slow things down towards the top of the map. I'm going to make it a 520. I'll put a couple 420 ice monkeys as well. Once you do that, you can grab any one of your subs and then you'll contribute the max amount to your paragon. If you farmed like I did where you filled up the entire map, you will have additional money left over, and that way we can place more towers. I am going to do a top path sniper and marking it on strong, so I will make it a 502 with my sniper marked on strong. I'll put a few more ice monkeys out as 420s, and then I still had money left over, so I went ahead and did the glue and I made it a 025 to kind of help slow down some of the balloons, the balloon cleanup, and the boss as well. Make sure that you mark your paragons on strong. If you did it right, you should have 2 over degree 60 paragons, and then my sub ended up at 58. It's probably because I couldn't place any more, so if you wanted to put a little float, you can. But as you'll see, you will need all of this defense because the boss is very strong on this last tier. So that is going to be it for this particular boss. It is a very strong boss, but as long as you farm pretty hard at the beginning, you'll be able to defeat it. You will generate a little bit more income so you can place additional towers. Remember, the main thing with this particular boss is you don't want to do towers that buff things and you don't want to sell or it's going to regenerate health. So avoid the alchemist and then also avoid the middle path, village, and then just make sure that you're constantly using the ability for your sub Paragon as well. And that's it, guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Sorry for the late upload. I had a lot of things going on this weekend, and then I had to modify some things with my strategy. If you haven't, make sure you drop the like and subscribe. And also, I did create an in-game creator code. It's exactly like my YouTube name, M the Goddess. So if you want to support me in-game, just make sure you type it in as M the Goddess. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend. Bye.